To assemble the ball bearing base roller, what I'm going to use is a 10mm socket, and I've just put the extension handle on it so it's easy for me to grab. And it comes with 4 bearings, and then for the large roller that attaches to the desk base, there's an adapter that goes on the OD of the bearing, and then there's an adapter that goes on the ID of the bearing that presses onto the axle on the desk base. And then for the small roller, the OD of the bearing rolls directly on the track, and there's no adapter. And then it has an axle adapter that goes on the ID of the bearing. So to put these together, they will pretty much almost go together just pressing them with your hand. However, it helps to seat the last part by using the socket, and you can just press down, and then what you're looking for is it to be seated on both sides. There might be a little bit of dross on the outside of these parts, a little kind of hairy bit of plastic that should just come off easily with your fingernail. So we put the second bearing in and put the ID adapter. So we get it started, and then use the socket to seat it. And it pushes both sides down. And then do the small roller side and get it started. Might be able, those actually went together without having to use the socket to press them together. And so now you've got the small rollers that go on the drawer and the large rollers that go into the desk. You're ready to install on the desk. My tanker desk is used as a stand for a CNC router, but anyway, on this 2 of the drawers are out, and what this is demonstrating is this is the ball bearing replacement for the desk roller, and then this is the original O-ring one. And what I'll do is I'll show kind of the difference in the feel and of the 2 different rollers, and then I'll install ball bearing rollers on the bottom drawer. Put the 2 drawers into the desk. So the top drawer is a ball bearing roller. It rolls very smoothly and easily. And then the bottom drawer, it rolls fairly smoothly, but you can tell it's not nearly the smoothness of a ball bearing. Putting the ball bearing rollers on is pretty easy and straightforward. You just take the roller, the big roller goes on this, and you should be able to start it with your fingers, and then you'll need to tap it in place. I use a soft face hammer. This is a leather face hammer. And you bring it in till it's flush, and then it will roll smoothly. If you don't have a soft face hammer, you could use a drift punch. And I'll get one of those. Drift punch would go on like this, and it starts pretty well. This is probably the better way to do it. And now it's nice and smooth. Then replacing the small roller on the drawer. So for the O-ring style type drawers, the small roller has a hole and should be able to, this one was able to push on entirely by hand. There'll be a little bit of variation on how tight to fit depending how much paint there is on the pin. So if it seems like really tight, you might take some sandpaper to knock the paint off of the axle. And then that one is in place. And then now with the new rollers, it rolls nice and smooth.